Needs to sleep in a tent. The director of the largest homeless shelter in Hamilton County tells Local 12 they can help anyone who needs it. Megan Mongello went there today to see firsthand what's being done. Megan?
Well, hey, Rob, we are live on Guest Street, and there's a train track right there. So if you hear some background noise, it's from the train. But behind me over here is a men's shelter, one of the largest in Hamilton County. Now, the Shelterhouse also runs a women's shelter out on Reading Road. And their director told me that those folks living in a tent in downtown Cincinnati, most of them have not shown up at either place to get help.
These are the beds that the homeless men in Cincinnati can lay their heads on each night. Arlene Nolan is the executive director of the Shelterhouse. She's been working to help people in the different homeless camps set up around the city.
Over the last couple of weeks, outreach workers have reached out to us, and the majority of the people on the list that we've been given throughout the past 3 weeks, we have said that they are welcome to come in.
Have you seen them?
We've seen a few, not very many.
One of the names on the list is Joe Phillips. Today, he stood before TV cameras and talked about the lack of help.
A few people have actually been able to get housing since all this has started, but we just don't have enough resources. We don't have enough people involved.
Joseph Phillips is the plaintiff on the federal lawsuit to let the homeless live in tents in downtown Cincinnati. Court testimony showed Phillips confirmed he was eligible to return to a shelter, but refused because he couldn't go with his female partner. Josh Spring is the director of the Greater Cincinnati Homeless Coalition.
Last night, every single shelter in the entire county was full or operating over capacity. Every single shelter.
According to the woman who runs the largest shelter in Hamilton County, that's not the full story. Nolan says they're at capacity, but can and will still give help to anyone who needs it.
And if they wanted to come tonight, there's beds available.
We will make space. As I say, we do overflow and we expand with the need.
And the Shelterhouse is a low barrier shelter. That means that basically anyone could come in. Even if you're drunk or you're high, you can walk through those doors and have a place to stay. There are really no rules except the people have to be here inside by 9 p.m. and no sex offenders, and don't harm yourself or anyone else. So, Rob, I guess we'll see if anyone from those downtown tent cities decide to come to a shelter. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
That is fascinating information. We're getting a different story elsewhere, and thanks for clearing that up. The Shelterhouse helped over 3,000 people last year. Workers there give the homeless 3 meals a day, plus treatment based on their needs.